idea for a short story.
Börja. Och jag skäms ju något enormt över dig. Och sen så går vi dit och sen så ber vi få lämna tillbaka det vi har stulit och är lite osäkra på vems njurar det är. Så.
To begin with, I think stand-up is sort of a religious ritual. Well, North American tribes, Indians, they had a trickster that came out before religious rituals, like rain dances or whatever. And his goal or assignment was to make the participants laugh and to sort of thwart their perspective on reality so that their minds opened up to God, which is quite a sad thought in secular Sweden, that I am the closest to God that my audience would ever get. Someone once told me, love thyself, but I'm not my type. A while ago, I started getting pains in my anus. And when the pain became unbearable, I decided to go see a doctor. When I was at the examination, he stuck his fingers up my ass. I pounced on the opportunity, seized the day, and started to masturbate. Not because I liked it, I just didn't want to be the only one embarrassed in that room. It's kind of ironic that me, being such an anal person, lives all my stress and angst in my anus. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is there are a lot of more people out there who suffer from anal migraines, but no one dares to talk about it. Until now. I give anal migraines a face.
So why stand-up?
It gives you so much liberty in your performance. The culture form, whatever you call it, with the most free expression.
Its function is to make people discard old ideas for new ideas, open up their minds, and that's basically what I hope to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Preferably my ideas.
Ja,
Hej, jag skäms som en hund. Finns det någon på kulturen man kan tala med?
de har slutat för idag.
De har slutat. Inte det. Men då tror jag att vi har en liten man här som skulle vilja säga någonting. Eller hur? Eller hur?
Ja.
Eller hur?
Ja, det här är alltså... Det här är njurar. Jag vet inte vems njurar det är, men... Och sen... Det är Ahmeds njurar.
Eller hur?
Ja. Och sen så är det då hjärtan och lever.
Mm.
Jag är jätteledsen, verkligen jätteledsen för att jag gjorde det så här. Men jag var tvungen, jag visste inte att det var fel förrän ni skrev den där artikeln i söndags.
Så jag läste den och tänkte bara, låt det inte vara min Aron. Bara, låt det inte vara min Aron. Det är bra, du har gjort det bra.
Förlåt i alla fall.
Ja, så. Är det allt det här nu?
Det här är allt.
Är det allt det här nu?
Ja, det är inte riktigt allt.
Nej, precis. Precis. Jag skäms för en hund. Du gjorde bra. Ja, jag är stolt. I'm going for the role of a fool, yes? Which gives me the liberty to do and say whatever I want. Because a fool is never responsible for his actions. For the simple reason that he is a fool.
In what I do, I try to create meaning in a meaningless chaos.
The thing that drives me is that I want to tell you about something that I think is really interesting and important. And that thing is me. I think I'm really interesting and important. I know that I'm not. I try to sort of have something of myself in every story. I peed on a child yesterday. It wasn't my intention, of course. It was a complete accident. The whole situation became almost magical because when the warm urine sort of met the cold morning air, it transformed into this like golden haze around him. And I looked at him again and he looked like me. I leaned over him and said, "Are you my inner child?" Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Do you mean that I am sort of a manifestation of the exposure of the grown-ups' acts? Even if their intentions were good, they hurt you and scarred you? And how these scars transformed you into that person that you are today? They can be so intelligent, children. They are little gifts from God, aren't they? I don't integrate my Jewishness so much in my stand-up act. But I've started to. I mean, I've written in radio. I have brought it up a couple of times. How it is to be a Jew in Sweden.
Yeah.
It's like having two identities, I guess. So you have a Swedish identity and your Jewish identity.
Why can't you combine them?
Yeah, you can, but do you want to? Isn't it great to have two identities? Isn't it boring just to have one?
If you're wondering why I'm not blonde and blue-eyed like the rest of the Swedish population, it's because I'm Jewish. Yes, I know what you're thinking, that I have a huge cock and rhythm in my blood. That's not true. I can't dance. No, that's not what they say about us Jews. What they say is that we control the world. So that's my day job. Let's just hope nothing goes to hell while I'm away from the office. I had to go to the bathroom just for a quickie a year ago or so, and we had a global financial meltdown. But I think I know why people are so annoyed with us Jews. It's because we're God's chosen people. God said to Abraham, "You and yours shall be my chosen." Abraham should have asked, chosen for what exactly? But it's always nice to be a VIP, even though it costs a foreskin. Between us, seriously, I mean, you can't go into that much depth in Sweden because they don't know that much about Jews, but seriously, the contract is over 3,000 years old. I think it's time to renegotiate. I decided quite a long time ago that I would define my Jewishness as a cultural identity, and if there's anything I like about Judaism, it's critical thinking.
In Sweden, the Jews in Sweden don't go out and say that they are Jews. They never do that.
Sweden is a fairly conformist society. That would be an adequate term, right? And they don't like people to be different. They don't. I mean, if you ask like most Swedes, they would say that they're absolutely not racist. Absolutely not. They think all people are the same. But that's sort of the problem. They want people to be the same. People are not the same. If you perform in front of an audience that is mainly secular, and in Sweden, a country where it's considered strange to say that you believe in God, which I do not. But I think that's how they perceive it. When you first come out and say that you're Jewish, I think that they think that you're a religious person, and that sort of offends them because it's irrational, even though the Swedish populace in general believe in other stupid things like social democracy and humanity or ghosts.
I can find it strange that the Jewish people in Stockholm or in Sweden are pro that people from the same sex should be able to marry each other, but they wouldn't allow it to be done in their synagogue. Do you understand? They can be liberal in the secular society and sort of traditional or orthodox in the Jewish. They don't want to have another culture inside their culture. They see it as a threat. And I see it as something that's really good. I like it. I like to be Swedish and Jewish.
I'd like to leave you now with a few words of King Leonidas. He was king of Sparta, died at Thermopylae. He said, "Build me no monuments, let my actions be my monuments." And we know this because he had it written on a huge fucking monument.